Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna.
जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गाधा शिवस्ति गौर भक्तबिंद। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गाधा शिवस्ति गौर भक्तबिंद। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गाधा शिवस्ति गौर भक्तबिंद। हरे कृष्ण।
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, dear devotees. So today is Tuesday. It is 30th of December. It is Narayana Masa, Paushya Masa, Sukla Paksham, and Ekadasi Tithi. So today is Putrada Ekadasi or Vaikuntha Ekadasi. So it is fasting from grains, beans, and cereals, and any foods that contains too much of seeds that are to be avoided. Pulp can be taken. Okay, so that is Ekadasi. We shall read some lines from iskandiviji.com about Putrada Ekadasi or Vaikuntha Ekadasi. This is a long story, but I shall read very quickly. So, Putrada Ekadasi, the pious and saintly Yudhishthira Maharaj said, "O Lord, you have so nicely explained to us the wonderful glories of the Sapala Ekadasi, which occurs during the dark fortnight, Krishna Paksha of the month of Paushya, December and January. Now, please be merciful to me and explain to me the details of Ekadasi that occurs in the light fortnight or Sukla or Gaura Paksha of this month. What is its name and the deity is to be worshipped on that sacred day? O Purushottama, O Hrishikesha, please also tell me how you can be pleased on this day." Lord Krishna then replied, "O saintly king, for the benefit of all humanity, I shall now tell you how to observe fasting on the Paushya Sukla Ekadasi. As previously explained, everyone should observe the rules and regulations of the Ekadasi Vrata to the very best of their ability. This injunction also applies to the Ekadasi named Putrada, which destroys all sins and elevates one to the spiritual abode. The Supreme Personality of Godhead, Sri Narayana, the original personality, is worshipable deity of the Ekadasi. And for his faithful devotees, he happily fulfills all desires and awards full perfection. Thus, among all the animate and inanimate beings in the three worlds, there is no better personality than Lord Narayana. O king, now I shall narrate to you the history of Putra Ekadasi, which removes all kinds of sins and makes one famous and learned. There was once a kingdom named Bhadravati, which was ruled by King Suketuman. His queen was the famous Saibhya. Because he had no son, he spent a very long time in anxiety, thinking, "If I have no son, who will carry on my dynasty?" In this way, the king meditated in a religious attitude for a very long time, thinking, "Where should I go? What should I do? How can I get a pious son, Putra?" In this way, King Suketuman could find no happiness anywhere in his kingdom, even in his own palace, and soon he was spending more and more time inside his wife's palace, glooming, thinking only of how he could get a son. Thus, King Suketuman and Queen Saibya were in great distress. Even when they offered Tarpana oblations of water to the forefathers, their mutual misery made them think that it was an undrinkable as boiling water. They thus thought that they would have no descendants to offer Tarpana to them when they died and thus become lost souls, ghosts. The king and queen were especially upset to learn that their forefathers were worried that soon there would be no one to offer them Tarpana also. After learning of their forefathers' unhappiness, the king and queen became more and more miserable, and neither ministers, nor friends, nor even loved ones could cheer them up. To the king, his elephants, horses, infantry were no solace, and at last he became practically inert and helpless. The king thought to himself, "It is said that without a son, marriage is wasted. Indeed, for a family man with no son, both his heart and his splendid house remain vacant and miserable. Bereft of a son, a man cannot liquidate the debts that he owes to his forefathers, the demigods, and to other human beings. Therefore, every married man should endeavor to beget a son. Thus, he will become famous within this world and at last attain the auspicious celestial realms. A son is a proof of the pious activities. a man performed in his past 100 lifetimes. And such a person achieves a long duration of life in this world, along with good health and great wealth. Possessing sons and grandsons in this lifetime proves that one has worshipped Lord Vishnu, the Supreme Personality of Godhead. In the past, the great blessings of sons, wealth, and sharp intelligence can be achieved only by worshipping the Supreme Lord Shri Krishna. That is my opinion. Thinking that the king had no peace, he remained in anxiety day and night from morning to evening, and from time he lay down to the sleep at night till the sun rose in the morning. His dreams were equally full of great anxiety. Suffering such constant anxiety and apprehension, King Suketuman decided to end his misery by committing suicide. But he realized that suicide throws a person into hellish conditions of rebirth, and so he abandoned that idea. Seeing that he was gradually destroying himself by his all consuming anxiety over the lack of sun, the king at last mounted his horse and left for the dense forest alone. No one, not even the priests and Brahmins of the palace, knew where he had gone. In that forest, which was filled with deer and birds and other animals, King Suketuman wandered aimlessly, noting all the different kinds of trees and shrubs such as the fig, bell fruit, date palm, jackfruit, bakula, and Saptaparna and Tinduka and Tilaka, as well as the Shala, Tala, Tamala, Sarala, Hingota, Arjuna, Labhera, Baheda, Sallaki, and Karundha, Patala, and Kaira, Shaka, and Palasa trees. All were beautifully decorated with fruits and flowers. He saw deer, tigers, wild boar, lions, monkeys, snakes, huge bull elephants in Arat, cow elephants with their calves, and four-tusked elephants with their mates close by. There were cows, jackals, rabbits, leopards, and hippopotamuses. Beholding all these animals accompanied by their mates and offspring, King remembered his own Menagiri, especially his palace elephants, and became so sad that he absent-mindedly wandered into their very midst. Suddenly the king heard a jackal howl in the distance. Started, he began wandering about, looking around in all directions. Soon it was midday, and the king started to tire. He was tormented by hunger and thirst also. He thought, what sinful deed could possibly have done so that I am now forced to suffer like this, with my throat parched and burning, and my stomach empty and rumbling? I have pleased the devas, demigods, with numerous fire sacrifices and abundant devotional worship. I have given many gifts and delicious sweets in charity to all the worthy Brahmins too, and I have taken care of my subjects as though they were my very own children. Why then I am suffering so? What unknown sins have come to bear fruit and torment me in dreadful way? So absorbed in these thoughts, King Suketuman struggled forward, and eventually, due to his pious credits, he came upon a beautiful lotus-bearing pond and resembled the famous lake Mansasarovara. It was filled with aquatics, including crocodiles and many varieties of fish, and graced with varieties of lilies and lotuses. The beautiful lotuses had opened to the sun and swans, and ducks swam happily in its waters. Nearby were many attractive ashramas where there resided many saints and sages who could fulfill the desires of anyone. Indeed, they wished everyone well. When the king saw all this, his right arm and right eye began to quiver, a Shakuna sign for a male that something auspicious was about to happen. As the king dismounted his horse and stood before the sages who sat on the shore of the pond, he saw that they were chanting the holy name of the god on japa beads. The king paid his obeisances and joining his palms addressed them with glorified praises. Observing the respect the king offered them, the sages said, we are very pleased with you, O king. Kindly tell us why you have come here. What is on your mind? Please inform us. What is your heart's desire? The king replied, O great sages, who are you? What are your names? Surely your presence reveals that you are auspicious saints. Why have you come to this beautiful place? Please tell me everything. The sages replied, O king, we are known as the 10 Vishwadevas, the sons of Vishwavasu. So, sons of Vishwa. So, Vasu, Satya, Kratu, Daksha, Kala, Kama, Driti, Pururava, and Madhava, and Kuru. We have come here to this very lovely pond to bathe. The month of Magha, Madhava Mas, will soon be here in 5 days from the Magh Nakshatra, and today is the famous Putrada Ekadasi. One who desires a son should strictly observe this particular Ekadasi. The king said, I have tried so hard to have a son. If you great sages are pleased with me, kindly grant the boon of having a good son, Putra. The meaning of Putrada, the sages replied, is giver of a Putra, pious son. So please observe a complete fast on this Ekadasi day. If you do so, then by our blessing and by the mercy of Lord Sri Keshava invested in us, surely you will obtain a son. On the advice of the Vishwadevas, the king observed the auspicious fast day of Putrada Ekadasi according to the established rules and regulations, and on the Dwadasi, after breaking his fast and paid obeisances again and again to all of them, soon after the Suketuman returned to his palace and united with his queen. Queen Saibhya immediately became pregnant, and exactly as the Vishwadevas had predicted, a bright and faced beautiful son was born to them. In due course of time, he became famous as an heroic prince, and the king gladly pleased his noble son by making him his successor. The son of Suketuman took care of his subjects very conscientiously, just as if they were his own children. In conclusion, O Yudhishthira, one who wishes to fulfill his desires should strictly observe Putrada Ekadasi. While on this planet, one who strictly observes this Ekadasi will surely obtain a son, and after death he will achieve liberation. Anyone who even reads or hears the glories of Putrada Ekadasi obtains the merit earned by performing an horse sacrifice. It is to benefit all humanity that I have explained all this to you. Thus, in the narration of the glories of Pausha Sukla Ekadasi or Putrada Ekadasi from the Bhavishya Purana of Vedavyasa. Okay, that is from the events perspective. So Putrada Ekadasi or Vaikuntha Ekadasi ki jai. Okay, so we shall move into our daily Srimad Bhagavatam. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Hare Krishna. In the Srimad Bhagavatam, so Lord Brahma offering his praise to the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So there are different angles. He's addressing the Lord. Tasmai namo bhagavate adimakaye tubhyam. Tasmai namo bhagavate purushottamaya. In different addressing the Lord based on his pastimes. Because he is the root of the cosmic tree, he is mentioning Bhonadhrumaya. Tasmai namo bhagavate Bhonadhrumaya. And then, because he is the Lord of all the sacrifices, he is mentioning Tasmai Namo Bhagavate Adimakaya Tubhyam. And even though he takes different incarnations in different species, Tiryak Manushi Yubdadishu, Jiva Yodishu. So, Atmichayatmakrata Setu Paripsiyaya. By his speech will, he takes appearance in different species. And Reme nirista Bishopi Avruddha Dehaha, but still he is not contaminated by material nature. Reme nirista Vishayopi Avruddha Dehaha. So because of that, Tasmai Namo Bhagavati Purushottamaya. So he is maintaining prime way, his position, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, is prime way Lord Purushottamaya. So addressing in so many beautiful ways. And then, so today Brahma is again acknowledging in another way that the Lord, he is in the ocean, Garbhodaka ocean, though he is there and lying in the Yoga Nidra, And during that time, all the planetary systems, they are in the abdomen of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. And while he is lying on the Ananta Shesha, and that Ananta Shesha bed, it is so soft. And within that ocean, so many gigantic waves are coming. But still, the Lord is lying and enjoying the sleep there, Yoga Nidra, so beautifully. Okay, so likewise, Brahma is addressing. Some people may think that how it is possible to, whenever there are big waves, how to lie. So here Brahma is mentioning, addressing the Lord like that, enjoying on the bed of Ananta Shesha. Here we are in the Srimad Bhagavatam, third canto, chapter 9, verse number 20. यो विद्ययानुपहतोऽपि दशार्धवृत्या निद्रां वाह जठरीकृतलोकयात्रः अन्तर्जले कस्पुस्पर्शानुकूलां भीमोर्मिमालिनि जनस्य सुखं विवृण्वन् यो अविद्ययानु उपहतोऽपि दशार्धवृत्या यो avidya. Avidya is the influenced by the science. But anupahataha, and without being affected by the material science. Yo avidyaya anupahatopi, in spite of. Otherwise, anyone who takes in birth, who is in this material world, everyone are affected by three material modes of nature, and that is, if they accept a material body, they are subject to the time and interactions of the earth, water, fire, and air, like that. But here, the Lord's body is not affected by, without being affected by material nature, avidya. Yo avidya anupahatopi dasadhavritya. This dasadha is the five elements, earth, water, fire, and sky. And vrutya, the interactions between those things. Lord is not affected by all of those things. Yo avidya anupahatopi dasadhavritya. And then without affecting by them, and what he will do? So nidram vuvaha, nidram. In the sleep, vuvaha, accepting that nidra, that is yoga nidra. During that time, jatari kruta lokayatraha. Jatari kruta, within the abdomen of the Garbhodak Sai Vishnu. Jatari kruta, doing so, keeping all of them in his body, lokayatraha, maintenance of the different entities. Lokayatraha. So that is where this lotus flower comes, and then within that lotus flower, Brahma and all within the stem of that lotus flower itself, all the 14 planet systems exist, all the living in. Whenever it goes back again to the abdomen of the Lord, so he maintains all of them. Nidram vaha jatari kruta lokayatraha, and then keeping all of them in his abdomen. Antarjale, within the water of devastation. Ahikashipu. Ahikashipu is on the snake bed. So Kashipu is the bed. Ahi is the snake. Ahikashipu is on the snake bed. Sparshanukulam, happy for the touch. But if anyone touches any snake, any soft things, immediately a moving soft thing, immediately one may feel fear of it. A snake. But here the Lord, he is very cozily lying on the Ananta Shesha. Sparshanukulam, happy for the touch of the Ananta Shesha. Antarjali ahikashipu sparshanukulam. Bhimor mimalini, Bhimor violent waves. Malini, the chain of waves of the devastating water. Bhimor mimalini, janasya, of the intelligent person. Sukham, happiness, Vivrinvan, showing. So that is how the Lord is lying on the Adishesha, though he enjoys in the violent waves of this Garbhodaka ocean. The Lord is enjoying in his Yoga Nidra, having and the lying on the Adishesha bed. Brahma is addressing. But it may be feeling wonderful to the other living entities, how it is possible. But here Brahma is confirming those. Yo vidyanu upatopi dasadharutya Nidram vaha jatരീకృత लोकयात्रहम् अंतर्जले अहिकसिपु स्पर्शानुकूलम् भीमोर्मिमालिनि जनस्य सुखं विवृण्वन्. Translation. My Lord, you accept the pleasure of sleeping in the water of devastation, where there are violent waves, and you enjoy pleasure on the bed of snakes, showing the happiness of your sleep to intelligent persons. At the time, all the universal planets are stationed within your abdomen. Purport by Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Can I request Devashish Prabhuji to read the purport, please?
Hare Krishna Prabhu. Person who cannot think of anything beyond the limit of their own power are like frogs in a well who cannot imagine the length and the breadth of the great Pacific Ocean. Such people take it as legendary when they hear that the Supreme Lord is lying on his bed within the great ocean of the universe. They are surprised that one can lie down within the water and sleep very happily. But a little intelligence can mitigate this foolish astonishment. There are many living entities within the bed of the ocean who also enjoy the material bodily activities of eating, sleeping, defending, and mating. If such insignificant living entities can enjoy life within the water, why can't Supreme Lord, who is all-powerful, sleep on the cool body of a serpent and enjoy the turmoil of violent ocean wave? The distinction of the Lord is that his activities are all transcendental, and he is able to do anything and everything without being deterred by limitation of the time and space. He can enjoy his transcendental happiness regardless of material conditions. Sir Prabhupada ki jai. Hari Bol.
Jai. Thank you, Prabhuji. So here Prabhupada is glorifying Lord is enjoying. Why can't it, when other less insignificant living entities are able to enjoy the materialistic things which are part of the creation of the Lord, why Supreme Personality can Godhead cannot enjoy like that? So here, this is again persons who cannot think of anything beyond the limit of their own power, or like frogs in a well who cannot imagine the length and breadth of the great Pacific Ocean. This is only which we can see, but still it is not possible. Maybe we are in a particular town, even we cannot see all the town in a single glance. Even we are in a home, we cannot see all our home in a single glance until we just move here and there. But the Lord can see everything in all times, and He is all pervading Lord. So He is, in fact, everything is within His body. Everything, and He is lying on the Garbhodaka ocean. आयामत विस्तृतः स्वमान देहेन लोकत्रयसङ्ग्रहेण विचित्रदिव्याभरणां शुकानां कृतश्रियापाशितवेषदेहम् आयामत विस्तृतः स्वमान देहेन लोकत्रयसङ्ग्रहेण, his gigantic body, and all planet systems, they are in the abdomen of the Garbhodaka Vishnu. But such people take it as a legendary when they hear that the Supreme Lord is lying on the bed within the great ocean of the universe. If we look into the water in the oceans, there is big whales, blue whales. It is very gigantic one. So, but until we see it, we cannot even imagine it. But we feel so much of astonishment that similarly, no living entity could see Garbhodaka Sai Vishnu. And even Lord Brahma, it was not possible for him immediately until he go through all the penances. Later on, he would be able to say, Anta Hrudaye Avabhatam Apasyata Apasyata Yennapuram. He could see the Lord in his heart. Antarhrudaye Avabhatam Apasyata Apasyata Yennapuram. So that is the position of all the living entities and the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So they are surprised that one can lie down within the water and sleep very happily. So this is how it is possible. They think in the material limitations because they have experienced the material happiness. Everything they will compare against. Oh, here people take birth, people die, they eat like this, they sleep like that, they mate like this, they beget children like that, they defend like this, they enjoy like this. These are all only limitations of the one particular person in their particular circumstances. But every living entity has got a different kinds of enjoyment, different dimensions of enjoyment. Okay, but Garbhodak Sai Vishnu, his body is huge. His enjoyment is not of material nature. But little intelligence can mitigate this foolish astonishment. There are many living entities within the bed of ocean who also enjoy the material bodily activities of eating and all those things. Such insignificant living entities can enjoy life within the water. Why can't the Supreme Lord, who is all powerful, sleep on the cool body of serpent and enjoy this turmoil of violent ocean waves? So definitely it is possible. Lord, and also because the Lord enjoys, He is the Ananda Chinmaya Vigraha. And that happiness, we as a living entity, as a part and parcel of the Lord, we also got tendency to enjoy a little bit, a minute, based on our circumstances. The tendency is there. But Lord is the Purushottam. Okay, so that is the distinction of the Lord is that his activities are all transcendental and he is able to do anything and everything without being deterred by limitations of time and space. So he can enjoy in the transcendental happiness regardless of material considerations. Okay, so that is Brahma is stressing that point. Prabhupada is explaining it very nicely for our understanding. Okay, so it is a glorification of Lord position and the Ananta Sesha. Okay, it is a very beautiful shloka. Again, यो अविद्ययान् उपहतोऽपि अनुपहतोऽपि दशाद्धरुच्च निद्रामुवाह जठरीकृतलोकयात्रहम् अन्तर्जले अहिकस्फुस्पर्शानुकूलं भीमोर्मिमारिणि जनस्य सुखं विवृण्वन्. Can I request devotees kindly repeat line by line? यो विद्यया अनुपहतोऽपि दशाद्धरुच्य
यो विद्ययानुपहतो दशरथः
निद्रामुवाह जठरीकृतलोकयात्रहम्
निद्रामुवाह जठरीकृतलोकयात्रः
अन्तर्जले अहिकस्फुस्पर्शानुकूलाम्
अन्तर्जले स्पर्शानुकूलं
भीमोर्मिमालिनि जनस्य सुखं विवृण्वन्.
भीमोर्मिमालिनी जनस्य सुखं
विवृण्वन्
यो विद्यया अनुपहतोऽपि दशार्धवृत्य
यो
विद्यः अनुपहत अपि दशार्धवृत्त्या
निद्रामुवाह जठरीकृतलोकयात्रः
निद्रामुवाह
जठरीकृतलोकयात्रः
अन्तर्जले अहिकस्फुस्पर्शानुकूलाम्
अन्तर्जले स्पर्शानुकूलं
भीमोर्मिमालिनि जनस्य सुखं विवृण्वन्.
भीमोर्मिमालिनि जनस्य सुखं विवृण्वन्.
Once again. यो विद्यया अनुपहतोऽपि दशार्धवृत्त्या
यो
विद्यानुपहतोऽपि
दशार्धवृत्त्या
निद्रामुवाह जठरीकृतलोकयात्रः
निद्रामुवाह
जठरीकृतलोकयात्रः
जठरीकृतलोकयात्रः
अन्तर्जले अहिकशिपुस्पर्शानुकूलम्
अन्तर्जले स्पर्शानुकूलम्
भीमोर्मिमालिनि जनस्य सुखं विवृण्वन्
भीमोर्मालिनी जनस्य सुखं
जनस्य सुखं
विवृण्वन्
हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे
कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे कृष्ण
राम
कृष्ण हरे हरे राम हरे
Can I request dear devotees kindly take turns to read this shloka? Can I request Saranya Mataji to start with?
हरे कृष्ण यो यो विद्ययानुपहतो अभिदशर्धविवृत्त्या निद्रामुवाह जदरीकृतलोकयात्रः अन्तर्जले अहिकशिपुस्पर्शानुकूलम् भीमोर्मिमालिनि जनस्य सुखं विवृण्वान्
Would you like to go once again, Mataji?
यो विद्ययानुपहतो अभिदशर्धविवृत्त्या Prabhu, how was it like
यो विद्यया अनुपहतोऽपि दशार्धरुच्य अनुपहतो यो विद्यया plus anupahato. This is the long way. So ek split into avidyaya plus anupahatopi anupahatopi.
okay. यो विद्यया अनुपहतो अभिदशर्धवृत्त्या निद्रामुवाह जदरीकृतलोकयात्रः अन्तर्जले अहिकशिपुस्पर्शानुकूलम् भीमोर्मिमालिनि जनस्य सुखं विवृण्वान्
Very beautiful. Thank you, Mataji. Can you request Prabhavati Sachi Mataji? If Mataji is available. If not, Jai Mataji, please.
Hare Krishna, please accept my humble obeisances. Yo vidyayānupahato api dashrada vritaya nidram uvaha jathari krita lokayatraha antarjale hi kashipu sparshana nukulam bhimormimalini janasya sukham vivrunvan.
Once again, Mataji.
यो विद्ययानुपहतो अपि दशरथवृत्तया निद्राम् उवाह जठरीकृतलोकयात्रः अन्तर्जले हि स्पर्शानुकूलं भीमोर्मिमालिनी जनस्य सुखं विवृण्वन्.
Beautiful, very nice. Thank you, Mataji.
Sorry, Prabhuji.
Can request Asha Mataji, please.
हरे कृष्ण प्रभु यो विद्ययानुपहदोपिताशवृद्ध्या निद्रामुवाह जडरीकृतलोकयात्रः अन्तर्जले अहिकशिपुस्पर्शानुकूलाम् भीमोर्मिमालिनि जनस्य सुगं विवृण्वन्
Very nice. Once again, Mataji.
यो विद्ययानुपहदोपिताशवृद्ध्या निद्राम् उवाह जडरी कृतलोकयात्रः अन्तर्जले अहिकशिपुस्पर्शानुकूलाम् भीमोर्मिमालिनि जनस्य सुगं विवृण्वन्
Very beautiful, very nice. Thank you, Mataji. Lalita Devi Mataji, please.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, please accept my humble obeisance. यो विद्यानुपहतो अभिदशार्धवृत्त्या निद्रामुवाह जडरीकृतलोकयात्रः अन्तर्जले हि अकशिपु स्पर्शानुकूलं भीमोर्मिमालिनि जनस्य सुखं विवृण्वन्.
Once
हरे
again,
कृष्ण
Mataji.
प्रभुजी.
Once
Okay.
again.
यो विद्यानुपहतो अपि दशार्धवृत्या निद्रामुवाह जठरीकृतलोकयात्रः अन्तर्जले हि कश्यपस्पर्शानुकूलं भीमोऽग्निमालिनि जनस्य सुखं विवृण्वन्.
Very beautiful. Thank you,
Thank you,
Mataji.
Prabhuji. Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Meena Mataji, please.
Hare Krishna. यो विद्ययानु अपहतोऽपि दशार्धवृत्या निन्द्रामुवाह जठरीकृतलोकयात्रा अन्तर्जलेह अहिकासि पुष्पसानुकूलं भीमो विमालिनि जनस्य सुखं विवृण्वन्.
Once again, Mataji.
यो विद्ययानु अपहतोऽपि दशार्धवृत्या निन्द्रामुवाह जठरीकृतलोकयात्रः अन्तर्जलेह अन्तर्जले हि अहिकासि पुष्पसानुकूलं भीमो विमालिनि जनस्य सुखं विवृण्वन्.
Very beautiful. Thank you, Mataji. Nicely recited. Usha Mataji, please.
Yes, Hare Krishna. यो विद्ययानो अपहतोऽपि दशार्थवृत्या निद्रां वा जठरीकृतलोकयात्रः अन्तर्जले हि कशिपु स्पर्शानुकूलं विमूर्मिमालिनी जनस्य सुखं विवृण्वान्.
Again,
यो
Mataji.
यो विद्ययानो अपहतोऽपि दशार्थवृत्या निद्रामुवाह जठरीकृतलोकयात्रः अन्तर्जले हि कशिपुष्पर्शानुकूलं भीमोर्मिमालिनी जनस्य सुखं विवृण्वन्.
Very beautiful. Would you like to read the translation, Mataji?
Yes, very. My lord, you accept the pleasure of sleeping in the water of devastation, where there are violent waves, and you enjoy pleasure on the bed of snakes, showing the happiness of your sleep to intelligent persons. At that time, um, all the universal planets are stationed within your abdomen. Hare Krishna.
Very beautiful, Mataji. That is from Shloka recitation of Srimad Bhagavatam. So very beautiful. So yo vidyaya anubhatopi dasardharutya nidramuvaha jarikruta lokayatraham antarjaliyahikas bhimormimalini janasya sukham vivranvam. Lord enjoys. Seti Puman Swadrug Ananta Sakahatatangke. Dhruv Maharaj also mentions. कल्पान्ते तकिलं जठरेण गृह्णन् सेदे पुमान् स्वदृग् अनन्तः तदङ्के अनन्तसखः तदङ्के and his coils. So beautiful. All these shlokas, it will mesmerize one to attract the Lord. Bhagwan Shabda Gocharaha. Okay, through the sound, one can relish the relationship and his pastimes. Okay, that is from Srimad Bhagavatam Ki Jai. Okay, we shall move on to the next Srila Prabhupada's daily letter. So today, letter to Mulchand Diomal, January 31st, 97, Allahabad. Okay, so it's not a big letter. Can I request Lalita Devi Mataji to read this letter, please?
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. My dear Mulcha Demolji, please accept my greetings. I am in due receipt of your two letters dated 22nd and 23rd January 1971, respectively. And I beg to acknowledge with a thanks your contribution of Rs 100 rupees. You are so kind upon me that you are taking very serious interest in my Krishna conscious movement. Certainly, Krishna will be benedict you with progressive devotional service for him, and I shall always pray for your higher spiritual life. I wish to request you to come and live with me, but that you have already said will not be possible for you. So your help to my book fund is very much welcome. You have so kindly desired to contribute, or if you are 500 rupees in this connection, so you can conveniently directly send this money my mail transfer to my book fund account number HSS 14538 in the Central Bank of India, Golia Tank Branch, Bombay. The procedure is that you go to the local central bank in Surat and ask them to transfer your money by mail, which is technically called MT. So there will be no difficulty. You can simply intimate me that you have transferred such amount through the central bank at Surat. Then I will take care of it. We have now taken a very nice floor in Bombay. The address is given above as our camp address. By the end of the March, we will have deity installation ceremony for 1 week. At that time, if possible, please come and join us. I hope you are reading my books with interest, and any questions that arise out of such studies may be inquired from me directly. Very soon, you will receive all other books as they have arrived in Bombay. Thanking you once more for your kindly help, hoping this will meet you in good health. Yours sincerely, A.C. Bhakti Vedant Swami. Srila Prabhupada ki jai.
Thank you, Mataji. Any takeaway points, Mataji, from this letter?
So he was encouraging one of the devotee. Since he's already accepted his Krishna consciousness, he's more encouraging him come and join with us. Since he is not possible to join with them, he's even though he's fine, that's fine. But still, if you want to contribute for a book contribution, you can contribute. That's what he's asking. He's asking for the letter. That's what I understood. That amount can be transferred. Those days is a bit difficult, right? So he's suggesting you can transfer through mail transfer. So he has provided an address of the Bombay, how he is some instructions of how he can transfer using those instructions. That's what I understood, Prabhuji. And there is soon they are going to open a hall, it seems, in Bombay. So at least you can join that event. So since all lights will come that particular duration, so that's what he's requesting. You can come and join with us at least March month, if not at the moment. So that's what I understood, Prabhuji. So he's so kind and he's giving all instructions. So maybe it looks like he's not been much educated how to transfer the money. So he's helping him through the letter by providing the instructions. Once that's done, then just inform me. So, and he's asking if you get any doubts while reading the books, you can directly contact me. That is a good thing. So, no need to be here and there struggle, right? So, that's a good thing. He's giving suggestion. Yeah, that's probably that's what I understood. Good teacher, preacher. Yeah.
Very beautiful. Thank you, Mataji. Very
Thank
nice
you.
to summarize. Any other comments, dear devotees? You wanted to add any further? Okay, so that is from Srila Prabhupada's letter. So here, Mulchand Demolji, he has contributed 100 rupees. Okay, so in those days in 1971, it is a big amount.
That's correct, Prabhuji. That's fine. It is also very good amount.
Yes, and also one thing about people who have come from India background, they're mixed with so many different kinds of conceptions. Of course, once upon a time, we used to be like that. And they do some pious activities contributing to the temples, to the deities, but they do so many other things. They do so many other things. But here, uh, if they have approached the proper spiritual, bona fide spiritual master, they wouldn't have done so many things with a different consciousness. But all activities must be Krishna consciousness. Spiritual master give those things. And also, he's mentioning, you're so kind upon that you're taking very serious interest in my Krishna consciousness movement. Certainly, Krishna will benefit you with progressive devotional service for him, and I shall always pray for your higher spiritual life. But in the society, the so-called the Hindu society, there are so many mixed conceptions. This demigod, that demigod, goddess, and I that vrata, this vrata, so many things. People will go here and there, and they do not want to miss anything at all. So immediately they will put their hand in everything, and then they mix, and then confusion arises. What should I take it? And then based on the nature, based on their consciousness, they will have to act because they haven't got the knowledge. They have put their hand and their legs in everywhere. And but because of that, they could not conclude any one of it. So they have to act in the based on the nature they have acquired by the body and the circumstances, the place, and they will keep going on with it. But one has to deliberate the knowledge. What is the highest truth in this society, in this world existing? That kind of intelligent question put he himself, then he will just assess each and everything. Then which is not right, which is not, then he can just keep it aside and then keep going on, and then until he finds the real truth, the real transcendental knowledge. And then yes, if there is nothing is compatible with it, then hold on to it and keeping everything else aside. But that kind of thing, many people do not take further steps because they will be conditioned by the nature. Prakritya nita svaya. They will be conditioned by the nature. They will stuck up because of the nature. But one has to progress further. Prabhupada is praying for that. Krishna will benedict you with progressive devotional service. So, Krishna, that's why anything you do that is only for me, I will accept it. That Krishna demands that avivichara bhakti yogena. Only focus on Krishna. Do not focus on here and there like that. Okay, otherwise he will be conditioned by subject to birth, old age, disease, and death, coming back to this material world. If he has acquired so many pious activities, he has to come back again. Okay, so many different study angles. That is, Prabhupada is mentioning generally your ever will be shared. Here, Prabhupada is mentioning yours sincerely. Okay, according to the person, so that addressing a person, how that also Prabhupada is teaching us. Okay, that's my reflection. That's from Prabhupada's letter and from the announcements point of view. So today evening, we have got a evening japa session at 6:30 p.m. and preaching practice session at 8 p.m. with Prabhavati Sachi Mataji. Okay, so that is our upcoming event. And the devotees, if you have got any updates or you wanted to share anything, kindly update or kindly share. Hare Krishna. Okay. Okay, if there are no further updates, no sharings, then we shall conclude and continue with further japa. वञ्चाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपासिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। अनंतकोटि वैष्णववृंद की जय, श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय।
Jai.
हरे कृष्ण। कॉन्शियस डे एवरीवन। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य।